edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Pour here on a Football Friday.
Yep.
It's Barnes, it's Tony, and it's Michael.
Yo.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Not much, dude. Stoked to be here. Huge Wildcard Friday. Obviously, big Rangers win to recap, dude. I had a great time at the Horseshoe watching it last night, dude. So it's nice to also be back in studio today, Brian.
Yeah. And how was Candlewood? Were
It's
you
all
at
right.
Candlewood?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I was at Candlewood yesterday. They're always a great time.
Yeah, all
I got the mocha, dude.
Oh,
And actually,
I did call that. I don't know if you heard me say it.
I mean, I did hear you say that. I was watching the show, and it's I mean they do have a good mocha there, and it's actually pretty interesting, dude, because they do their sizes like cars, so it's like compact is the small, and then there's sedan, and then there's limo, and they just added stretch, which I think is like 24 ounces. But I didn't do that. I did obviously the medium mocha, delicious almond milk. And it was a good time, dude. It was nice, sat there, no one disturbs you. They have power, they have good Wi-Fi, decent Wi-Fi.
Better than the Wi-Fi here, I'm sure.
Definitely better than the Wi-Fi here. Bathroom, definitely better than the bathroom at the Horseshoe.
Bathroom at the Horseshoe.
And then they have water fountains. So you really unlimited water, dude. It's
Filtered water though, because sometimes water fountains kind of.
I mean, I would think so. It's like one of those legit like gray heavy duty water fountains.
Oh, okay, nice.
So it's like you can really set yourself up there for success, Brian.
Yeah, no, that sounds outstanding.
It is nice, dude. How was the show yesterday, dude?
Great show.
Yeah.
Me and Michael, holding it down.
Always better.
Big synopsis, kind of a wide net, with college, and even got into a little NBA, last Prism, and had a
Mosaic.
good time. Last Mosaic, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
dude.
But a lot to get
Kevin Durant,
to
I saw
here.
it, dude.
The
You
Kevin
were
Durant
hype,
full.
dude. It's like we have special effects or something on the
Give
card.
me something
Brian
on the
said.
Durant card, honestly.
What do you got?
I have to look into it.
But I'm saying you're pumped or no?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, even though we were tight on Durant.
We
But-
got to do some hockey prisms this weekend if we're Saturday,
We'll
if
see.
we're out and
I
about.
don't know. We'll
I'm going to
see.
do it. I'm going to get it. I'll do it by
We'll
myself
see. We'll
if I have
see.
to, dude.
Who knows?
Wow. Interesting.
Maybe.
Do my own show.
We got a bunch of comments. Let's get. What do we got here?
Oh, yeah. Why are they some bad comments? You seem a little...
No, not at all.
It looks like Josh Beek in here says, Freedom Friday. What's up, fam?
Freedom.
Why Freedom Friday? January 10th? Freedom Day? Anyone? TCA versus DTV playoff picks. LFG. He's hyped for that. Obviously, the great reset for the picks going to the wild card. We'll have to see that. Congrats on the regular season victory. He says, what?
No, I was just gonna say we were talking about it on Discord last night, and we went back to the archives. Josh
Yeah,
B checked. They would have beaten us by 2, you know what I mean, versus last year. So they were 2 games better than we were this year.
Oh, wow, okay.
But obviously we were way better than them this year
Oh,
and how
yeah.
we were last year. So it's
Yeah,
just
dude.
interesting
Big
going
step
back
up. Great
to
job,
see what
dude.
the difference was,
Yes. Congratulations, Brian.
Yes. Congratulations to you.
Thank
Tony.
you, Brian.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Ditto. Speaking of can't do it without you, Kev Dew says, let's go. We want the
Do the
smoke.
do.
Where's my boy, Matty Ryan? Your Devils suck, dude.
Suck it, Matthew Ryan. Yeah, fuck
He
you,
says,
Matthew
go kick
Ryan.
rocks. Absolutely. You're exactly silent right now, dude.
Yeah, he's not commenting.
Who's not silent? Tommy D, dude, says, yo, how about those fighting Irish? And then Kev Dew says, yo, Tommy, where were you last night when we was watching the game?
Yes, because like I was saying, the Discord, we were having a good time. A lot of people in there.
I guess not Tommy, though. It's just Kev Dew. And he says, flip a coin for first pick today.
No, but he was. I'm trying to think about it though. He was in there for a little bit. I think he faded off early though. That's what it was.
Finish
But
it off.
also, we don't even need to flip a coin because I thought we were just going to continue with the rotation. Like they go first, you know what I mean? And then next week we'll go first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did Josh B not look at that when he was going back in the archives?
He
or?
probably didn't.
Which is fine.
But I think that's fair.
Yeah. And Josh B says the Tony and Tommy Hockey Show, and then he says freedom from work, dude. Is he off today?
He
Or
didn't
is it
say
just
it
like
was
last
off,
day of the
but
week,
maybe a work from home.
Work from
Josh
home
B?
day. Really?
I would imagine.
I didn't know he had that like opportunity to do that.
No, neither did I.
Wow, good for him. Dude.
So, like I was mentioning, a lot to get to. So just a couple quick notes I want to make here. And we'll start with what was really, I mean, obviously for us, we were very dialed in on the Rangers. But for, kind of nationally, the big story yesterday was the college football playoff semifinal between Notre Dame and Penn State. Watch this whole game. We were talking about in Discord. Kind of interesting. I mean, we knew it was going to be tight. We knew it was going to be defensive. But the way it started was very surprising to me. Notre Dame just could not get anything going. Penn State, I mean, at one point, we're talking, really even
make a pass?
towards the end of the second quarter, seemed like they were going to run away with it, and they were doing a good job running. They ended up running for over 200 yards in this game. But they got a field goal and then scored a touchdown on a 15-play, 90-yard drive like we're playing Madden that took 7:17 off the clock. Notre Dame was able to get the ball back, so down 10-0, looking for something going into the half. 2 minutes, 18 seconds. They get a Mitch Jeter 41-yard field goal to make it 10-3. So a little momentum, going into the halftime locker room, and then they score on their first drive out of the halftime locker room. So to tie the game at 10, that was the only scoring in the third quarter. So keeping to that low scoring narrative, we had in mind coming into this game. But then they're able to score early in the fourth quarter. Jeremiah Love 2-yard touchdown run. So they had a 17-10 lead. But Penn State answers back, with 2 drives of their own. 7 plays, 75 yards. Singleton, the 7-yard rushing touchdown. And then Riley Leonard threw one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. I thought at that point Notre Dame was going to lose the game because you give the ball short field back to Penn State. And Singleton punches in again, so they're down 7. But Notre Dame able to answer back. 7 plays, 81 yards, capped off by a 54-yard touchdown pass from Riley Leonard to Jaden Greathouse. Interesting last name there.
Great
so
name.
Ties it at 24. Penn State, gets the ball back, and you're just thinking, well, geez, they gave him too much time. They're going to just wind the clock, kick a field goal. But Drew Aller throws one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. You just don't understand what he was thinking, basically. Notre Dame gets the ball back, and that was a big sigh of relief because there were 2 interceptions that were called back on Notre Dame because of penalties. I think it was a holding and a pass interference call.
People were tight about those.
So this one, no call. There shouldn't have been. It was tight coverage. Notre Dame gets the ball back and is able to put themselves in position after a couple Riley Leonard runs for a 41-yard field goal from Mitch Jeter. And, for everybody watching, the trajectory of this field goal, you're thinking, okay, this is wide right. And it drew back in left, which was interesting, but through the uprights. And Jeter had struggled earlier in the season with his field goal kicking, but has come on strong late. And it was the first go-ahead field goal in the last 2 minutes of the college football playoff era. I think the kickers were 0 for 4. They set up to this point.
When does that era begin? Like
10 years ago.
Oh, 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
or a little longer. But because I think it was 2014. So, yeah, basically 10 years ago. And then they showed it was funny. So, obviously, he makes that field goal. Penn State last gaps, backyard bullshit. You just no chance to do anything. So, Notre Dame advancing to the national championship game here. 27-24, 14-1. I think the most wins in school history. Franklin goes down again to a top 10 opponent. So, a tough way for Penn State to lose here. But I don't know if you saw this. They were talking about this on Rick and Dave. Everyone was making a big deal. Mitch Jeter's father was at the game. They zoomed in on him, And instead of watching the kick live, he was watching it through his phone, and everyone was like just calling him out, like, how could you, like, your son's making the biggest kick of his life, and like you're not gonna just watch it and not have someone else record it. You're gonna just watch it through a phone. I don't know. They were kind of making a big deal.
Oh,
about
like he
that.
was filming it.
Yeah, it's like obviously you want to film it, but
Yeah.
also I've filmed stuff at like the Yankee game. You could do both. Like you don't need to look
Yeah.
through the camera. You could just have it out like this, but then be looking out here. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I guess so.
but a great moment for him. Like I said, he had been through some adversity, earlier in the year, and just a great win for Notre Dame. And the fact too, they were talking about this on the broadcast. You lose that game to the Miami, Ohio, which is a MAC school. So you had to win 12 straight to get to this point. They do, and now they will play, for their first national title since 1988. So it's just been a long time. They await the winner of tonight's game.
That's great.
Between Texas and Ohio State. One thing that I would say, and Riley Leonard, who's been a force on the ground for Notre Dame this season, actually threw the ball a lot more than he usually does yesterday. 15 of 23 for a touchdown, 2 picks. I just think on the ground he just couldn't get anything going. Usually he's able to get a decent amount of yards, only 35 yards on 18 carries, but he's gotta make some better throws and not turn it over no matter who they play in the national championship game, because you could tell. I mean, he prefers to run, and the lanes just weren't there. Jeremiah Love, I would think they'll need a bigger game from. He had 45 yards and 11 carries with that touchdown. But defense playing well. Marcus Freeman riled and has really taken this university to the next level after Brian Kelly left. So congratulations to the Fighting Irish, and we'll see them 1 week from Monday in the college football playoff national championship game. You also, Tony, before we just mentioned quickly about tonight's game, you said this was on at the Horseshoe, so did you watch some of it, pay attention to any of it, or was it more like on the phone, the Rangers type of thing?
Well, I mean, it was definitely a little tough to watch the Rangers game because the Stream East was not really working very well, whatever. So I was watching some of this game here, and yeah, dude, I guess it was. I mean, it was tight at first. It was a little bit, honestly, in my opinion, a little boring. First couple of drives, obviously
Defensive.
Yes, very defensive. But obviously down the stretch of the game, by the time we left before the game was over, but it was definitely getting interesting. I think it was 10-10 when we left. Before the fourth quarter.
Right.
So it was like, I know this is cool, but it was like, it was low scoring. I guess it was good. The broadcast was good. The storylines, obviously, for both schools were great. Notre Dame, obviously, the history. Penn State's coach, Franklin, right?
Yep.
The whole, he's never going to win, right? Can never get past
still
the
may
big-
never
he still
win.
may never win, dude. So, yeah, it was a good game to watch.
Yeah, and I thought the finish was exciting, and you really didn't know what was going to happen with that field goal. So
Drew Allaire, dude.
yeah, he's got to
Kinda
go back
tough,
to school.
dude.
Both quarterbacks really struggled. I have a tough time thinking Riley Leonard's going to play in the NFL, but obviously he's enjoying his senior year here at Notre Dame. But he's just more of a runner. So maybe if he wants to play in the NFL, he could be like an H-back tight end or something. But it just seems like throwing, he just is not comfortable, and he doesn't have a quick release that you see out of NFL quarterbacks.
And like in terms of Allaire too, I feel like
He played like shit,
He did
honestly.
play like shit, and I feel like up until this game, I mean, people were talking about him
Possibly the third
possibly
quarterback off the board.
going into the draft, and then now after this one game, the whole
He's gotta
narrative
come
is
back.
really flipped. So,
Yeah.
But you do agree with that though? You think that he isn't ready?
Oh
the
no,
NFL.
no. After a game like this, I mean, you're asking to be a second, third round pick. So I fully expect him to return to school. But
before this game, you thought he could have been.
it
Or
still
like,
seemed like it's like it just like I just, you know what I mean? It's like when you're teetering, like, oh well, you might be end of first, but you could fall to the third. It's like, well, why not just go to school? And nowadays you can make some money. And like you could play pretty well and then end up being a first round pick. So
Yeah.
I think that's the best way for him to go. So yeah, we'll have to see what Notre Dame does. Like I said, a week from Monday, the college football playoff semifinal game number 2 tonight, 7:30, Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic at Jerry World, AT&T Stadium. Ohio State, a 6-point favorite here. Obviously coming off their dominating victory over Oregon. Texas almost blows it against Arizona State, able to recover. And, of course, in the first round had beaten Clemson. Ohio State in the first round had beaten Tennessee. But just so much momentum going the Buckeyes' way. That's why they're almost a touchdown favorite. You wouldn't expect to see a line that high, but given how the two teams played, you understand it. Total set at 53.5. So I think we could see maybe a similar first half or into the third quarter type of thing where maybe it's tight for a little bit, but I expect end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, Ohio State to really pull away here. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith's the guy everyone's focusing on. Just has had an outstanding season for the Buckeyes and really blew up in that Rose Bowl game on the season, though. 14 touchdowns, 12-24 through the air. And then Will Howard, the quarterback, has had a good year for the Buckeyes. 34-90, 32 touchdowns, 9 picks. Quinnen Ewers has been up and down this year, 29 touchdowns, 11 picks. And his top target, Golden, 936, 9 touchdowns. And the running backs, kind of similar numbers. More yards per carry, though, I think, for Henderson. He had 10 touchdowns, 925, and Wisner, 10-18, 5 touchdowns. So all I know is, after watching both of these teams' first 2 games, Ohio State, they play the same way they've been playing. They'll win this game. And for Texas, they're going to have to step it up big time. And it seems like they did this all season long where they get a lead, but then they can't maintain it. They slip up. They make a mistake. And then you get a different result. Obviously, they had to miss field goals as well. So that, really played a role. I guess just take a chance. Saul.
Hello? Hello?
Yes. Hello. Hello?
Hi, yes, you're live on the Sports Port right now. Who is this?
Yes, my name is James from Spring Valley, New York.
What's going on?
How's it going, James?
Good. How's it going?
Good.
What
do you want to talk about?
Jinx?
Well, right now, I guess I kind of want to talk about the Giants right now. In this article that Jordan Renan just pointed out about how dysfunctional the Giants were.
We didn't see that yet. What was in the article?
So basically, what was in the article was about how dysfunctional the Giants were, how they handling of Nick McLeod, and basically how insiders saying that the Giants are kind of run like someone on Twitter who's running the Giants, and how a lot of players have distrust for management.
So almost like a Woody situation, like with the Jets, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I've thought, John Mara, since their last Super Bowl has just done a terrible job of bringing in the right people. And then the results, you've had over the last 2 years, it's like it doesn't scream bring these guys back. He does. There's just a lot to question there. It's like, why is it taking so long? But I think it's just like the Jets. If you don't have the right general manager and coach, what do you have?
This is the problem that the Giants have. It's just, I understand why John Mara wants to keep continuity. He doesn't want to go run through coaches. But at some point, you gotta hire the right people. You gotta find the right people and let them do their jobs. If they're not doing their jobs the right way, then you gotta get rid of them. What has Shane and Dable have done that warrants another year? I understand keeping continuity, but you just can't keep You cannot keep continuity for the sake of keeping continuity. Like, this is like the Giants or Jets are being run to the ground to the point where you're wondering why these teams are where they are right now. You have poor management, meddling owners get in the way, and then the fan bases from both teams are wondering, like, what's going on? And to ask, sell, they're never going to sell. So I want to get this out the way. Neither the Giants or the Jets owners are going to sell the team.
No,
what you have to do is get proper management to work around it. Look at Leon Rose with the Knicks. We know how James Dolan as an owner, but once James Dolan hired the right management, they're able to work around how James Dolan is. You got to get management to work around these owners. That's how you can have success.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And the one thing I could say I could see, but I don't agree with it just because it feels like the team really folded the last couple of years, is the fact that they could say, with Dable, we didn't let him draft a quarterback, try to develop, try to make his version of Josh Allen, whatever. But it's like, that still doesn't like get them off the hook for just being a terrible football team the last few years. I know the roster wasn't great, but then, oh wait, the roster wasn't great. Why wasn't the roster great? Who put the roster together? So it doesn't take much to see, you put 2 and 2 together. These guys just really, don't seem like they deserve to stay. Obviously, they're going to. And I feel like because they're staying, it's pretty much a lock that the Giants are going to bring in a young quarterback, whether that's a trade or they trade up or, hope that one of the top 2 teams doesn't take a quarterback, which we know, is not really that likely, given what we've seen in past drafts.
Yeah, it's just getting to a point where, like, the Giants are down. Now they're forced to take a quarterback. And they got the forced-to-level quarterback that we're not sure. I mean, we all have the hype about Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, but this is a very weak quarterback class. Like, outside of 2, I mean, what do you have? Like Jalen Milroe and
Milroe's
Jackson
not
Dart.
ready. I would say the guy that I look at, though, is Dart. I think he's going to work his way up the draft board. And maybe if he doesn't work his way up too high, the Giants can trade up from like their 2nd and 3rd round pick into the end of the 1st round, get the 5th-year option. Obviously, I'm sure other teams will try to do that, but I think that's their best path forward, not trading up from 3 to get Shedeur or Cam Ward, because you're just going to have to give up a lot of draft picks that you need to really rebuild this team.
Absolutely. And another thing is that with the Giants situation, they have a lot of cap space, so they should be okay. But it's just a matter of getting the right players and also getting trust of the players, because I'm sure the players, they like Daboll. I know he's like a player's coach, but they don't really like Shane because the management is just – it's run piss poor. I mean, Joe Shane is kind of running like a used car salesman, trying to buy in and talk his way. And now you're in a position where you have to take a young quarterback, and you have to develop, and then the Giants have to have immediate success. The way that Daboll and Shane can save his job, if they get a quarterback and say they go 6-11, 7-10-ish, and they're in it, and then I think Mara could say, hey, you know what? They're making progress. It's better than last year. They came close to making the playoffs, but they faltered short. Then they can save their jobs. But they draft a quarterback and they have the same results this next year that they have this past season, then they're both going to lose their job, and they have to find another GM, another coach, and then it's this repeated cycle all over again.
Yeah, and Dave and Rick, earlier this week we're talking about it. I mean, you pretty much have to tell them, okay, you're going to be here for the long term, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. You bring in that quarterback, and then you're keeping Daboll, but then, okay, you're going to fire him, so then he's going to have to learn a new system in his 2nd year. It just throws everything off, and then, maybe you keep Shane, and it's just like, you want everybody on the same timeline. So that's why, they have to hope that this guy, I mean, even if they only win 5 or 6 games, but if he looks the part and has big games, then that's enough to give the fan base hope and give you confidence that you can keep these guys in place. But that's a lot of ifs. So it's definitely a tricky situation that the Giants find themselves in. So it'll be interesting to see what they do this offseason.
I make this think the Giants have no one to blame but themselves, because they put themselves in that position. Had they fired Daboll and Shane, then you can have a new GM. He can hire his coach, and they can decide what they want to do with that 3rd pick. You could have Travis Hunter's in play, or you can trade down or trade up. A new GM can decide if these quarterbacks are worth the top overall picks or not. But now, since you're bringing back Shane Daboll, you have to draft a quarterback, and you have to sell to Mara. Listen, develop him, give him time. If he's a Drake May situation, like you just said, buys him, like he looks the part, but it's not his fault that they lost. It's like the team is not complete. Then you can say, hey, you know what? We see enough progress. We can extend them, and with the right and with the tooling, then the Giants can look the part. But now you put them in a no-win situation, and this is how bad teams continue to be bad teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, it's going to be interesting. And before you go, I'm going to ask everybody who calls in today, if you had to, one outright dog this weekend that wins on Wildcard Weekend, what do you think?
Ooh, one outright dog. I'm torn between 2. One of them is the Packers. The Packers like is that. One. And then the other one, I don't know if they're really a dog, but I don't know if they're really a dog, but maybe the Commanders. Okay. But I really like, but I really do like the I really do like the Packers. I think the Packers are that one team. They're one team that if Christian Watson was healthy, I would feel more confident.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to say Packers. I mean, I know everyone's jumping on the Broncos, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Like Buffalo's too good at home. The NFC is like really tough. There's not like you can make a case that any team in the NFC could win. You can make a great case. So I would say the Packers would be technically they are a dog. They're a 5-point underdog. So Packers.
All right. Yeah. No, and we're looking forward to watching that game on Sunday afternoon, and we'll have to see what happens. But definitely appreciate you calling in, James. Anytime you want to call back, we'd love to have you. That was a great call.
Awesome, man. Thank you for having me. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah,
you too, dude.
Yeah, we got some comments in here. First of all, Kev Do, I am comfy. This is the TCA corner. Tommy Donovan saying James, Josh B saying James, and then Kev Do throwing shade saying James, the TCA troll.
Kev Do loves.
Where was that,
barking.
dude? Yeah,
that was the last.
You got to
comment.
keep up with it.
And
But,
also,
Well, I don't
Tommy
know who
with
you
the-
think
the
if you're fucking
correction
producing over there. Like, I don't know who
about-
you are tossing the comments. Like,
About
that's
Notre
what I do,
Dame
baby.
losing to Northern Illinois. That's a good correction. I messed that one up. And then I did see on here too Matthew saying that the Rangers actually won. Wow.
he said, "Color me shocked."
That's a phrase I've not heard.
That's
but,
right.
You learn something new every day. So yeah, great call by James. And before he had called, we were just quickly going to kind of give our prediction here on tonight's game with Ohio State and Texas. I was saying, maybe tight early on, but I think Ohio State pulls away. I would expect nothing less than a big game from Jeremiah Smith and Will Howard, and maybe the Buckeyes defense to force pressure on Quinn Ewers and force them into some picks. Maybe they go to Arch Manning for a spark, but I don't think it's enough. And I'm going to say Ohio State is going to win this game. Let's say 31-17. So give me the Buckeyes in the under. What do you think, Tony?
Texas.
You're saying hook 'em.
I'm hooking them.
You're just because you like McConaughey. That's the only reason.
Yeah, obviously, dude. He likes the devil horns. That's what he likes.
After this, I want to tell my quick story.
I mean, yeah, I guess I'll go Ohio State. I gotta be honest with you, Brian. I'm really fed up with all these bowl games. Like it's like you give me a fucking break, dude.
Just give me a
how many
national
more? Honestly,
championship.
dude. Like, can we just get to the national
that
championship
matters.
and let me get over it? All right.
But this isn't a bowl game. This is a playoff. Like it's like you have to the
Cotton
playoffs, it
Bowl
just-
Classic?
but right, but I'm saying it's yes, it's at the Cotton Bowl Classic, but it's a semifinal. This is part of the playoffs. Like it's like just like the NFL playoffs. You're gonna say, oh no, fuck the wild card weekend. Like just get to the Super Bowl. It's like no, Tony, you have to play it out. So
Well, I'm not.
nonsense. No, bad take by you.
No. First of all,
Michael,
first of all,
we're not
the
letting them off the
comparison to the NFL, that's bad. That's a bad comparison.
But these are
there's
good
not as
games.
many.
You want to
There's not
talk
as many.
about the Bahamas Bowl with Buffalo in it? Yeah, sure. But this is like really good football. Last night's game was great. There's been a lot of close games in these playoffs. It's a good time.
Well, then they blew it for me. You had all your games, all the bad games I've been watching.
Okay,
It's
but
sour.
And this is like Ohio State has some really
now I lost
talented
it, dude.
players. We're looking forward to seeing Smith. Can he match, what he did in the Rose Bowl? So give us a fucking pick, Tony. Jesus.
I said Ohio State in the over.
Ohio State, no score. Like,
Oh wow. Okay.
Is this your first
I'll
day?
say Ohio
Yeah, seriously.
State. I mean, again, I made my 2 cents. I'll say I don't know, 27-17.
27-17. So Ohio State in the under.
Sure.
Okay. Gotcha.
Quick story. So post gym today, I usually go to St. Mary's, right? Blah, blah. I've been doing this for a while now.
Yeah.
Okay. Never have I had this happen to me. And I set my alarm for the sunrise because I was tired. Okay. So I'm taking a nice little cat nap. I'm somewhere else. I think honestly I was with Mel Gibson in my dream.
Oh God.
Okay. And all of a sudden I hear, yo,
Michael Bucca.
yo, you good? Yo.
Wait, didn't this happen another time?
No, I was like, and the freaking lights in my face, and it's a cop,
Oh,
two
wow,
cops. And he's
dude.
like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm taking a nap
Yeah.
before the sunrise. And he's like, where were you? I was like, just at the gym. And he's like, oh, State Park's closed right now.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So I had to get out of there.
That's
How
tough,
crazy
dude.
is
Wait,
that?
did that happen one other time or no?
With the cop, I don't know.
I thought
No,
there was
it was the kid that ran out of gas.
Oh,
That
okay.
was funny,
But I just was remembering that. I think it
Similar.
was a while ago.
It was.
So yeah, no, that
I mean,
is
it's about
kinda
time the cops over there are doing their job. Like, geez.
Yeah.
I was gonna
dude.
tell him, there's a street called Knowlton Street. I mean, you should patrol
Yeah, you
that.
should patrol
area.
that area, dude. Yeah.
Stop worrying about
Oh
me.
man, that's funny. And then before we get into the nitty gritty of the NFL, just quickly, Tony, we're gonna get round one resuming at the Sony. I guess it was called with darkness yesterday, but a bunch of golfers at 6 under par leading the way. Harry Hall, Adam Schenk, Eric Cole, Denny McCarthy, Paul Peterson, and Tom Hoagie. All shooting 64 yesterday, so some
Schenk
low
and Hoagie?
numbers on the course. Really, though, notables. I mean, Brian Harmon was 4 under.
I can't
Zach
wait to golf.
Johnson, 4 under. Yeah, I'm so excited myself.
New season for me.
Matthew has been talking about we're gonna go to Westchester, go to dinner
I'm
out there.
down.
Gonna be great. I know Tony's pumped too.
He just rolled his eyes.
Actually, I am really pumped to golf.
you roll your
I
eyes
was saying yesterday.
Because he's jealous.
Because I'm pretty sure, first of all, I'll believe when I see it, Michael.
with
okay,
Michael,
dude.
okay.
Listen, I've
um,
been looking on Facebook Market for cheaper
for golf
sets.
Yeah,
clubs,
Yes.
okay.
I got an extra bag. I got my old bag you can have now.
And I have stuff for you too that you could use. So you're good.
Okay.
I have a backup set literally in the office. My dad's like tight that I keep keeping it there. So
Oh, really?
there you go.
Michael to the rescue.
Yeah,
There it is,
exactly.
dude.
What were you gonna say though, Tony?
No, yeah, I am pumped for golf. I was talking to Jeff yesterday actually because I realized while working in Candlewood that there's like a little golf simulator thing in there.
Oh wow.
Right behind local. Because I
Oh,
noticed
yes,
looking
yes.
out the window, I'm
Opened
like,
while I was
the
working there.
whole day, dude, I'm seeing just guys in and out of that place. I'm like, wow, man. Like, I wonder what it's like in there.
Small.
Yeah, Jeff said it's not that great. There's a place in Stratford that's better.
Yes.
Because I guess the one behind local, you can't putt.
No.
They'll just give you an automatic 1 putt or 2 putt, whatever. The one in Stratford, you can putt, but he's also like, you spend $100 easily when you're there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Tony. Honestly, I mean, maybe there's places that have deals, but you're gonna be tight with simulators.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go there probably.
Yeah.
I was like, that I don't want to go. $100 to do fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
It's
no,
ridiculous.
it is crazy that
Yeah,
it costs more
cheap.
money. But I have to say, if you took that out of it, the time is really fun. Honestly, for the winter, especially because
yeah.
you can't do outdoor stuff.
Yeah, I would
so
think
my
so,
whole thing
dude.
is like, I'll do it once or twice.
Right.
That's it. You
And
know
I
what I
feel
mean? I'm
like
not gonna do it regularly.
I feel like there's gotta be like BYOB spots though, right?
There is,
like,
there is one in
where?
Milford. I don't know if it
Oh,
still
okay.
is, but I think it was like 2 years ago I went, and it is.
All right, so I can get down with that. You know,
Yeah.
you spend what,
Check it-
$40 to
Yeah.
golf or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then you bring your own.
Check into it. I think it was
Yeah.
on the Post Road.
Isn't there one where Renee's resale is, Tony?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I don't go in the orange that much.
Boston Post Road.
Yeah.
No, I think that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's
In
close
Milford.
to there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely what I'm talking about. So, yeah, something to keep an eye out for. And then, Matsuyama, 3 under, coming off his win last
Symmetrical,
week.
Tony.
My pick, Sahith Theegala, 3 under as well. And I always do this, Tony, but remind me
Who
you
did I
took again?
pick, dude? That's a
Mount
great
Mor-
question.
No, not Morgan.
I know. Oh my god, dude.
Isn't
who,
that crazy? I
Yeah,
just
right?
have no
'cause I wasn't here
recollection of this.
yesterday. Who was I? Who was I? I think it was someone who was relatively favorited.
I mean, we could look. Let's see.
Can't believe it, dude. I know I had Luke Clanton was my sleeper. I know that. My winner was dude, what the hell, dude? Why am I blanking on his name now? Oh my god, dude. Woodstock, Vermont, dude.
Oh, Keegan. Okay.
Keegan Bradley.
Gotcha,
yes,
gotcha,
Keegan
gotcha.
Bradley.
Okay.
Like that, Mike?
I had this on one of the TVs last night. So I was
Yes.
watching it a little bit. Keegan, by the way, 1 under. So, like I said,
It's all right.
round 1 will resume at 12:45, and we'll get a winner over the weekend and see what happens. But I think it'll be another event where the players do well. That's for sure, and it's always good to be in Hawaii with the PGA Tour. But it's time, Tony. Let's go to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick 6. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle! Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
Wow, just like that, you ask and you shall receive. Kev Do on the line, Tony?
Good morning, Kev Do.
What up, guys?
What up, Kev?
Los
I can
Polos.
take it.
I just want to say, James is my guy. It was no dig calling him the TCA troll. He knows what it is.
Oh yeah, no, we know you
Oh,
love
we have
busting
no
stones,
doubt,
Kev.
dude. We know how you is.
Yeah,
What's going on, fellas?
yeah. What do we got? Are you?
It's good to hear your voice.
It is great. You sound great, dude.
You
do
sound good,
great.
healthy,
You're
strong.
very healthy. You guys
but
a nice sweep?
How do you feel about taking us out for the playoffs? I mean, you didn't do it last year. You didn't do it in the regular season. Are you due? Is it law of averages, Kev? What's going on?
First of all, you're talking this crap because you beat us by a couple games this year.
I mean, it was more than a
all right?
couple. More than a couple.
Oh well, it was 6 games. We blew you out by 10
Listen,
last year.
it was a nice 180. You got us last year. You got you this year. It's even playing field. All right. Doesn't matter what happened last year. This is the postseason
doesn't.
now, dude. Doesn't even happen what matters in the regular season,
Yeah,
dude.
it doesn't. This
Blank
matters
slate.
right now.
Now.
We don't have another
This
second.
is a game.
So
Play ball.
But that being said, I mean, good luck to you and Josh and the rest of the TCA. But what we're gonna do the draft, like we said. You guys can go first, and we'll go first next week just to keep the rotation. But what are you leading off with here, Kev?
Yeah, what do you got?
We're gonna take the Eagles -5.
Okay, so Eagles over the Packers, dude. Obviously, James thinking that's the upset. Clearly, Kev Dew does not think
That's
so.
why he's a troll.
All right, so
I
we'll
mean, it's a
put
good
that
pick.
in.
Good pick, dude.
TCA Eagles -5. Okay, so that is now we are up here. So a couple things to go with. It's actually kind of tough, Tony.
It is pretty tough. Bills 9 is a lot.
I love. 'Cause I know
Chargers.
you're gonna want to take the Bucks.
You're going to want to take the Chargers.
but I'm gonna want to take the Chargers. Yeah.
Honestly, I think.
Bucker wants you to
safer
take the Chargers. Southern California, baby.
Yeah, dude.
Pina
Hon-
coladas.
honestly, dude, Brian, like,
Yeah.
listen, I'm all for the run. I believe in Baker and everything, but I just think, like, from a non-bias, like, win this segment, it may not be the best pick to get.
The Bucks, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start with the Chargers.
You want to start with the Chargers?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do Chargers
Pencil that
-3,
in.
dude. Pencil
Chargers
the
-3. Mr. Dew, what do you got?
Tony's pretending to write.
I have it.
Oh, we're gonna go the Ravens -10.
Wow.
Wow, that's big.
Is it -10? This is -9
it-
and a half.
But did you go to Gamecast? Is it still -9?
Not -9 and
I'm
a half.
not, I went on ESPN.
Yeah, it's weird how ESPN's different like that. But we'll give them 9.5. That's fine. Because I mean that's what we see, right? I mean that's what we always go by. No.
That's what we see, yes.
Yeah. So we'll give you 9.5 there, Kev, on the Ravens. So that means we are up here for our second pick. I mean, Allen is in play, obviously. It's really, I think it's either that or it's the Rams or the Vikings. But what are you thinking, Tony?
I guess you got to go with the Bills, right? I mean,
Bills,
I
yeah.
don't think the Broncos are winning. I know the 9 is tough, but I think Vikings Rams a little more of a toss up. I know you're probably going to be leaning Rams after last week, right?
Oh yeah,
I mean, do you think the Bills are going to win by 9?
yeah, I
Right?
do.
I mean, their offense. There's
Yeah.
no way.
I think that we do it. Let's do it.
All right,
So
cool.
Bills -9, and then it's the last pick for Kev. What do we got?
We're gonna take the Commanders +3.
There
Good
it
pick.
is, dude. That is
Probably
a good
would have
pick.
done it myself. I just think the way that they played, winning 12 games, they've just done a nice job. Bucks defense a little spotty. Obviously, we know what Baker can do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then we are left with the game between the Vikings and the Rams.
I mean, I'm down with taking the dog.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. I hate the line at 2.5, but what are you gonna do? If they win outright, it doesn't matter what good are the odds if you don't win, and it
Exactly,
gives us a dog. So that's what we need to do here. So we'll go Rams +2.5. So it should be an interesting wild card weekend. I'm pumped to watch these games.
Yo, me too, dude. It's going to be
I'm
great.
pumped too. I feel good about our picks.
Yeah, no, it'll
Likewise, Kev.
It'll be interesting. Any plans to watch the games, Kev? Or are you just chilling? What's going on?
I will be down by my uncle's house in Tom's River.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
But I'll be watching the games. I always carry my iPad on me, so I get all the games on my iPad.
Nice, man. That sounds fun.
No matter wherever we go, I'm going down with my cousin Tim also.
Cousin
So
Tim.
he already informed me this morning he wanted to go out and watch the games at one of the bars in Seaside. I think Spicy's, he said. But I don't know, you know, how the thing is on a Saturday night down the shore, you know what I mean?
At this time.
So
yeah,
I'm just going with the flow. I just need a little
crazy.
break from up here. I just need a break from up here.
Yeah, get some new vibes.
I know the feeling.
You know who's been real quiet
Matthew Ryan.
that I haven't seen yet? Yeah. Where's he at?
I think he's still crying about the overtime losses.
Must
as
be,
far as
must
I'm
be,
concerned.
dude. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta say shout out to my boy Buckta. I see him in the comments.
Yeah, he's there, dude.
Hopefully his stomach has recovered.
Yeah. Oh.
What happened? He was sick, or he drank too much?
No, I think he had too much of a
I
Reuben
think a bad
sandwich,
piece of
dude.
meat on the
yeah,
Reuben.
he was
Oh,
tuning
no,
up a
dude.
storm, man.
Ooh. Hey, Brian, remember
Yes.
last night when I said, hey, I was like, I should put $50 on Notre Dame
Yes,
to come back
yep.
and win?
Yep.
And I never fucking did it, bro.
Did you see what the live odds were at that point?
They were 330.
Plus 330?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
When after Penn scored that touchdown, I looked at it and it was plus 330. I was like, "Oh, I should take it." That's when I mentioned
What
it,
happened?
but
I thought you could take it.
I was gonna take it, but by the time I tried to put money in my account and then try to play, it dropped down to like plus 110.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Ah,
That's
so I
tough.
was
Not
That's tough.
quick enough.
Yeah. Crap
And
out.
Next time, dude.
I would have asked you, what outright dog, but obviously, you picked the Commanders, so that's the outright dog. I'm guessing, right? Because you don't think it's
No.
really
My
you think-
outright dog, but I wasn't gonna take it. But I've been saying this since last week. My outright dog is the Broncos.
That's crazy, dude. But why didn't you? Is it just because we took that game before? I'm surprised you didn't take him then with the 9 points.
Nah, me and Josh were talking this morning. No. That's just a personal dog for me.
No.
Gotcha. And then last thing for you here. What's your prediction on the college football game tonight with Ohio State and Texas?
Oof. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think it's going to be kind of a shootout.
Okay,
I
so
think
the
it's
over?
going to be like 35, 40, somewhere around there.
Wow.
But I think, me
That is a
personally,
shootout.
I think Ohio State's going to win, but I'm kind of pulling for Texas because I like the underdogs.
Okay, gotcha. But it's almost like
you
you're
know what
saying
I mean?
take Texas with the points, but Ohio State gets the job done.
Yeah.
It's going to be
I mean,
right in
but-
there because the spread's 6. You said by 5, so.
I think by the second quarter, you're going to see Mr. Archie Manning in.
Wow. That would be an interesting storyline for sure. So pending.
I'll be covering it.
He's gonna do what Tua did to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that would be something. So yeah, looking forward to watching that later and watching these games over the weekend. But yeah, appreciate you calling in, Kev, and hope you have a
Always,
great
guys.
weekend. And as always, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys, have a good one.
Yeah,
All right,
you too,
Kev.
dude. Travel safe this weekend.
Matty Ryan, kick rocks. You bum-ass devils.
Let's go. So that is the one, the only Kev Do.
I can take it.
And it's nice. It's finally time, Tony. I know you're so pumped for this. The 6-game wild card weekend frenzy.
Let's fucking go, people. We had a great weekend of wild card games set up for everyone here. Let's get my NFL scores. Here we go, dude. We're starting off Saturday on these games,
Let's
dude.
go.
Get out your notebooks, people. 4:30 p.m. CBS or Paramount, I guess wherever you are. We'll be going to Houston, Texas. The Texans taking on the Chargers here in this AFC wild card matchup. We said it before. The Chargers -3 for the DTV pick. The over/under is 42.5. Chargers here look to get their first playoff win since 2018, dude. I guess that was also against the Texans, I believe, right? Chargers here obviously won their last 3 games in a row. Texans are the team that kind of looked a little middling, whatever. I know Brian Harbaugh. What's up, dude? What do you got?
Yeah, just looking at this game, I have a hard time thinking that the Texans will win. And I don't know, if it's like a dominant win for the Chargers. I think this is actually a low-scoring game, and it really probably, will end up going under just because I don't know how much Houston can score. Their defense is pretty good as well, and the Chargers don't necessarily light up the scoreboard against quality opponents. So I think, what we've seen all season, their formula, it looks like Dobbins is questionable. I would imagine he goes with Edwards banged up and Zeke on the practice squad. But I think, the high percentage throws, kind of shorter routes for Herbert, not turning the ball over, getting rid of the ball with pressure in his face. I think he does that. I think this is a game give Chargers are up 10-3 at half, and then end up ultimately winning. I'm going to say 20-13. So give me the Chargers. Go Chargers. And the under.
Love the pick there. Let's go Chargers. Later that evening, dude, at 8 p.m. on Prime Video, which is pretty interesting. I didn't realize that. We can see the Baltimore Ravens here at home taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a matchup this one's going to be. Obviously, big AFC matchup as well. Right now, the Ravens here, look at the end of their year. They won 4 in a row. The Steelers lost 4 in a row coming into that game. I think really destroying the narrative of that team. Can Wilson do it? Do they have what it takes? It's going to be tough, which is why Baltimore minus 9.5, over under 43.5, Brian. What do you got, dude?
All right. So, the Steelers really have been playing well for most of this season, but have dropped their last 4. And then a road game against Baltimore, who really seems like they're peaking at the right time. Lamar might win his 3rd MVP. Derrick Henry is an absolute animal. Defense playing better down the stretch as well. So maybe this is kind of tight early, but then I think the Ravens really run away late. And I know the Steelers will try to limit this Ravens team with their defense, but I think, especially with Zay Flowers out, I think they lean on the running between Jackson and Henry, and I think they end up rushing for 200 yards in this game. So I'm going to say at the half, let's say it's Ravens 14-7, and then they end up winning 35-14. So it ends up being a blowout. 35-14 would also be known as the Ravens. And the over.
Definitely a tough end for the Steelers there.
5
By the way,
to end the season.
This is the first time in a decade AFC North rivals are clashing in the postseason. We go from one game to the next here now, and also one day to the next. We're going to Sunday, 1 p.m. now. We're going to Orchard Park here in New York. The Bills taking on the Broncos. And in my opinion, even though the Ravens are given more points, I think this would be more of a crazier upset, dude, if the Broncos were to pull this one off. Buffalo here -9, and the over-under 47.5. Obviously, Bo Nix, another rookie quarterback we're seeing in the playoffs, facing off against a veteran like Josh Allen, seemingly having the best career year. Is it chalk for this one, Brian?
Yeah, it has to be chalk. And maybe, the Broncos defense is good. We'll give them that. So, maybe they play him tight first half. Maybe Bills are up 10-7, but I think the floodgates open. Allen, the run, the pass, James Cook, really just getting everybody involved. That's what he's done all season since losing Stephon Diggs in the offseason. So I think they pull away second half. I'm going to say 31-14. So give me the Bills and the under.
Let's go Josh Allen, dude. Let's go down next game, midday, 4:30 FOX. We have the Eagles. Lincoln Financial. We know the fields, the setup, the big parking lot, whatever, dude. The Packers are coming in here. Is Jordan Love yet again facing off in the playoff against an NFC North powerhouse, dude? Love, the wrist, banged up. I don't know, dude. I would imagine he's going to give it his all here. But also, Hurts, yet again, another postseason. Seems like he's dealing with some issues as well. Packers didn't look great. Lost back-to-back games to end the season. Tight ones. +5 here. What do you think, dude?
Yeah, maybe what I could say is silver lining. Maybe the Packers cover here. Maybe this is tight, but I think what I could see, because we saw this against Minnesota, with the Packers, where early on, maybe the Eagles jump out to like a 17-7 lead at half. and then the Packers storm back, maybe tie it. Let's say. I'm gonna say Jake. Terry McLaurin, going deep. And I think at the end of the day, we're going to see the Commanders, win this game by the score of 35-28. Daniels drive, last 2 minutes for the score. And I'm going to say we're going to go the Commanders and the over.
You want to do Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Whoa, dude. We're going into Monday now. Let's freaking go, Brian. It's the Rams here, State Farm in Arizona, dude. Obviously, a little bit of a kerfuffle, with LA over there. The Fires have to replace the game, move it, whatever. The Rams here. It's going to be pretty interesting how it affects the game. But the Minnesota here, Vikings minus 2.5. Over-under is 47.5, dude. I don't know. Obviously, kind of a crazy thing with the Wildfires, forcing the Rams to move. I would say, obviously, that hurts the Rams here. A lot of people have the Rams being a underdog team to even make the Super Bowl, dude. Especially with the way the Vikings played their last game of the season. Could potentially be a nice game, nice win for the Rams. What do you think, dude?
Yeah, definitely give me the Rams here. I just think, I understand you can't ignore the body of work. Darnold, what he did throughout the regular season, but I think it's just a big spot. Minnesota historically two struggles in these areas, and you have Sean McVay, who knows Kevin O'Connell better than anyone. He was his offensive coordinator, and I just like the combination of, really, if you think about it, other than defense, I think Minnesota has a better defense, but quarterback, skilled players, head coach, all that points toward the Rams. The run the Rams have been on, starting 1-4, finishing 9-2. People don't realize how impressive that really is. So I think actually the Rams win this one easily as an outright plus 125 dog. I'm going to say they win this game 28-17. So give me the Rams and the under. And just like that, that is your wild card weekend frenzy.
What a wild card weekend it's going to be, dude. Gosh darn it, dude.
Yeah.
Some great matchups, some tight matchups. But obviously, as we typically do, dude, what would be your game of the weekend, including Monday?
Game of the weekend. That is tough. Just taking a look at this one more time. I would say most likely the game of the weekend is going to be between the Commanders and the Bucs. I think there's going to be just so many points, so exciting, and it's, who has the ball last will win the game. So that
Josh B said sound just cut off.
Yeah, it's all back.
Before we're good.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
What's your game of the week?
I obviously would go with the same game, especially since the audio cut out, by the way, during your Bucks prediction, which was they would lose. Bad sign for you, good sign for the Bucks. They're gonna win, dude. But I think it will be a shootout, obviously. But I guess to maybe go off of your, maybe not pick your same pick. I honestly think Broncos Bills would be surprisingly close.
Yeah, and if it is, I'm sure Jim Nance, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson, Tony, will be jacked up for that one.
Oh yeah, dog.
But so will Josh Allen. Bills are 8-0 this season at home, by the way, as well. But yeah, nothing like NFL playoff football, that's for sure. So really looking forward to these games over the weekend. Oh, okay, no, that was just, I saw Corey had commented, but that was everybody basically saying the same thing. But we really appreciate, honestly, everybody giving us the heads up.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's for
Shows
sure.
they care.
Yeah,
It does.
absolutely. Yeah, so let's switch gears now and go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle break. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink wide. Made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. It would have been the time to play the song.
It's not the time to play the song.
Yeah,
It definitely is.
You come in
Just
from
because,
No.
listen,
Big win.
big win because,
OT.
of
Stop it,
course,
dude.
we get it,
shit.
Tony.
You don't know
There's
shit,
so
dude.
much work to be done. You understand that, and obviously everybody knows by now. Rangers win 3-2 last night in overtime over the Devils.
Everybody knows that by now.
But it's just the fact that you beat a quality opponent that had embarrassed you. And not only are they a quality opponent, they're one of your biggest rivals. So I thought that was so impressive. And, to just keep battling back, it was a back and forth game to hang in there. And especially Igor, fresh off the injury, getting the start there to gut it out. I thought he played great. And it was just a completely different game than we've seen out of the Rangers really in a long time. A tight, close game, and especially against a quality opponent like New Jersey. Igor 21-23 in his return. So now they are 19-20-2. Devils fall to 25-15-4. Matthew Ryan, where are you? But yeah, I watched most of this game. There was a little point though where I was struggling with the VPN, with all Optimum and all that. Obviously, we know Optimum sucks at this point for the whole MSG carriage dispute. But I know you had your eyes glued on this one as well, Tony. Any analysis you'd like to give of this game?
Yeah, of course, dude. I mean, I obviously, the win was huge. I mean, you watch that last goal back. The Garden certainly was absolutely rocking that overtime goal, especially coming from Sam Carrick, a little bit of an unusual suspect there, assisted by Riley Smith too. Especially that overtime was pretty crazy. Obviously it's 3-on-3. There's time, there's space, a lot of chances on both sides. Panarin almost scored not too far before that, and of course Devils had their shots as well. But like you said, coming into this game, I mean, yeah, you were being outscored against the Devils 10-1 coming into this game last night. So you knew this was going to be could have been honestly an ugly game. But like you said, Igor had a phenomenal game, dude. And how about, only facing 23 shots? And the Devils recently have, struggled to generate some offense. Their bottom six aren't scoring as much as they did in the beginning of the season, or the first half of the season, I guess I could say. But again, I mean, I think that this was a huge step up from the Rangers defense. Especially, I mean, early on, I mean, it was pretty tough. I think there was, two quick back-to-back penalty kills they had to go on.
Yes.
In the first period. Because, again, Devils generating chances. Both teams were back and forth, But I think that early on, those two, PKs, I think really jacked up the rest of the team, jacked up Igor. And you were able to turn a lot of that good offense, or good defense, into good offense, which is why, when you saw, Fox's goal, his second of the season was great, but that was a blue line slap shot. A play that was really just designed, from the get-go. Vinny T off the face-off wins it, gets it right back to Fox. He skates just, maybe a little bit and just rips one from the blue line. And again, I mean, that's a contribution from your defenseman. You saw a lot of that, a lot of contributions from your defense last night. Will Borgen, he had, I think 2 shots on goal. He was, again, not shy of just putting a puck on the net from the blue line. And I mean, that's exactly what you need here, especially, not for nothing, with a Devils team that had a Jacob Markstrom that's been certainly performing at a high level, sometimes, especially the Rangers, struggling to score. I mean, that's just sometimes what you have to do. If you're not getting those inside chances, you make shit work. You try to get some dirty goals, and even Panarin's power play goal too. That was off a rebound. Mika shoots maybe from the top of the circle or middle of the circle, and Panarin's there to clean it all up, dude. I mean, that's what you want to do, start generating offensive opportunities against good teams, dude. You didn't really see any I'm not gonna say any mistakes, but you didn't see as many mistakes, as many stupid turnovers maybe by the Rangers. They had a good job of entering the zone, solid forecheck. They were playing physical, I guess, too. Obviously, I mean, you look at this game, and yes, you play the song, whatever. There's still a ton of work to do. You're 19-20-2. You not for nothing, like, you had to take the Devils to overtime to win this one. You didn't have a 5-on-5 goal. Everything was in the power play or in overtime, 3-on-3. Like, you didn't really get those opportunities on 5-on-5 as much as you wanted to.
But one thing I would say is, though, I kind of liked seeing it with the power play because I feel like they haven't really scored that many power play goals recently.
No, yeah, you're right.
So this is and that has been their calling card the last couple of years.
3-2
Yes,
in the new
of
year.
course, dude. They are 3-2 in the new year. But listen, that's great. That's the mentality you want to have. They're still 19-20 in the season. 5-on-5 goals was their problem last year, right? That was their thing. They relied on the power play
this year
in order
it's just
to do
been any
so.
Goals.
This year it's been exactly. Any type of scoring is a problem for them. You got to relax with the penalties as well. I know your PK was perfect. 0-for-4 were the Devils on their power play. But still, I mean, against maybe a team that's a little bit more, hot in terms of scoring, and that's going to be more difficult. You did kill it in the face-off circle. You got to appreciate that. Almost 64% face-off victories, dude, which is great. And of course, the power play, we know. But you still, you obviously you want to see more from the team here. But like you said, quality opponent against the Devils. This is a win. It's a step in the right direction. But like we've seen before, you can beat Dallas, but can you follow it up? Can you string some wins together? I think only once in recent history they've had back-to-back wins, right?
No, I mean, it's been since November.
I thought they had one since November.
No.
Or it's been since November
7th.
7th. Yeah.
Wild. And that's what I was gonna say. I have no issue with this win at all. Like I said, the Devils have played as one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference all season long, so it's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna go to overtime. That's fine. And the fact too that you have a guy like Sam Carrick, who maybe the casual hockey fan doesn't even know who he is. Scoring the game winner, so you love to see that. You love that your goalie's back. You just gave him the extension, so that was great. And it's just like kind of what you were just getting at is building at it. And you're out west for 3 games: Vegas, Colorado, Utah. At the minimum, I mean, you had to win 2 out of those 3 games, and really, ideally, you'd love to win the game tomorrow night in Vegas, because then you could snap this whole, you haven't won back-to-back games type of thing. It's going to be a tough task, but I have to say, I mean, for a team that has really lacked morale this season, you would think that victory last night, would go a long way in terms of doing that. I mean, the guys generally did seem really pumped up after the win last night.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, having Igor back, I think some fool yesterday on some sports show said that these players don't want to play for Igor or something. They played better when Quick was in between the pipes. I don't know who would think that. Because obviously, I mean, Igor is a huge part of this team. One of the only guys who've really been performing at a high level consistently all season long. And yes, that was a dig at Michael and I was not paying attention. But yes, like you said, dude, I mean, against the rival. What?
Who has a Stanley Cup?
Who has a Stanley Cup? I mean, Quick has one.
There you go.
Like, what are you talking about?
Mic drop moment.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? No, tell me what you're talking about.
Talking about Stanley Cup experience, better goaltender.
So what, you want to start Quick right now?
No, I think they could duke it out.
You want them to duke it out like half, like 50-50, like timeshare?
I think so.
I'd love to hear what other Rangers have to feel about that.
They probably don't agree.
They definitely don't, because that's ridiculous, dude. This team loves Igor, and you can tell by the way they're playing. I mean, this is some of their best defense they've seen all season. So, yeah, dude, and like you said, Sam Carrick, the usual suspects. I mean, it adds a little extra to the win, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, big road trip. Let's get the job done. And a couple of comments we had here, I just wanted to get to. Corey says the Islanders with the shutout in Vegas. That was surprising. So hopefully, our friends there at UBS kind of roughed up the Knights. So we can
nice.
get them, a little compromised. We'll see. And then Ernie saying, let's go Rangers. No, I have to say, Tony, I agree. Such a long way to go. But like I always say, you got to start somewhere. So I was pretty pumped to get the win because it just felt like they hadn't, especially in overtime too, like they hadn't grinded out a win like that. I felt like in so long. Sure, you could go to the Boston game, but they led that thing the whole way. This was a back and forth, and then just getting that goal when you need it the most in overtime. That's what really stood out to me. And then I really do think sometimes these wins can turn seasons around. Of course, it's about what you do next. So a solid road trip, I think we can really be talking about something.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, I think. Listen, I think the same. I mean, I've been thinking the same. Anytime that tough loss against the Caps or against the Panthers, where it's like they're playing their best hockey, it's like just string along 2 games back to back where you're playing the same type of game, and you have the same energy and the same tenacity. And like you said, this road trip, I mean, is something that could turn the season around. If you are successful, if you win 2 out of the next 3 games, even if you go on a 3-game winning streak and then, whatever, that last game you lose, come back to the Garden, figure it out like that. That's like, you need to just string along a couple of wins and get people riled to be watching. Not to say people aren't riled to watch. Again, Garden was electric last night. So, I mean, again, you just get the momentum going in your favor. I mean, we're going to be singing an entirely different tune come playoff time.
Yeah, and I think, looking at it, with realistic expectations, if you could just split between Vegas and Colorado, beat Utah, that's what you need to do, and you start from there. And as we would say, onward, upward, Tony.
That's right, dude. And by the way, Sorokin, 20th career shutout, second fastest active goaltender to get 20 shutouts, 222 games. Behind who, Michael?
Martin Brodeur.
No, Jonathan Quick.
So, we had a bunch of other games last night, just running those down quickly. Your guy, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, Tony, with the shutout in Ottawa.
For Buffalo.
4-0. Quinn had 2 goals. So the Sabres picking up a couple W's here recently. The Lightning, a dominant home 4-1 over the Bruins. So they're now 22,
Bruins
15,
suck,
and
dude.
2. Bruins struggling 2019 and 5.
They're getting ripped apart by
it'll be
the
interesting
media,
to
dude.
see what they do. I'm sure the fans are getting a little impatient there.
Booed. They've been
as
booed.
Carlton was saying, it's been a while, and they thought they would have been in contention more since the last Stanley Cup and losing that game to St. Louis. We saw the Stars 4-1 over the Flyers in Philadelphia. So the Stars now 26-13-1.
They're good.
How about this? I predicted this on the show yesterday. The heavy outright dog, the Penguins, seeing it as disrespect, 5-3 over the Oilers, despite 2 goals from Leon Draisaitl. Crosby had a goal and 2 assists. So, as always, the Penguins hanging around here, 18-17-8. And the Oilers dropped to 25-13-3. The Blue Jackets, another one that I saw coming yesterday, is Merzlikins, Sam Rosen, Ryle, 29-31. A 6-pack, 6-2 over the Kraken. So who knows? This team could be a playoff team. Very strong at home, too. 14-5-3. The Hurricanes, who had been struggling, defeat the Maple Leafs 6-3. How about this? Jordan Stahl with a hat trick. And Martin Nuke also had 3 assists. So Carolina 16-5 at the Lenovo Center, 25-15-2 overall. The Blues blow out the Ducks here 6-2.
Chasing the Blues.
Thomas with 2 goals. Kyrou had a goal and an assist. Blues hanging in there as well, 29-14-4. The Avalanche all over the Wild in Minnesota, 6-1. So they've been hot recently, 26-16-1. Including 14-8-0 away from home.
Crazy turnaround for them.
Crazy after the 0-4 start. Wild still 26-12-4, 11-9-1 at home. And like Corey had mentioned, the Isles get the shutout to improve to 16-18-7 and had a goal and an assist from Brock Nelson. So hoping for a turnaround under Patrick Watt to finally get back into contention. I know they made the playoffs last year, but I'm sure they're earning for more than that. So who knows what they'll do there. And then, we do have 5 games tonight. So we'll do our frenzy. And then as we always do, Tony, let's include tomorrow's game in Vegas to make it a 6-pack. But let's do it. Let's do a Friday Frozen Frenzy.
Brian, loving the 6-pack on this Friday, dude. Let's start off with this 6-pack at 7 p.m. NHL Network. You can see the Detroit Red Wings take on the Chicago Blackhawks here. Let's freaking go, dude. This is going to be a great matchup, historical matchup, of course. Red Wings are hosting the Chicago Blackhawks after a nice overtime win that put the Red Wings win streak up to 6, I believe. I have to double check here. Detroit Red Wings, it is at 5, actually. But nonetheless, here they are obviously a red hot team. Blackhawks, not so much. They dropped
Colorado.
3 of the last 5. The last win was a 3-1 victory over Colorado, to everyone's surprise. I think Bedard had 2 points.
Yeah, had a goal in that one.
Had a goal and an assist, I believe, in that game. Obviously, he's a big X factor for Chicago and a big reason how they could win this game. At plus 155 with the total set at 5.5, you see Bedard and the boys upsetting Detroit.
Bet it and bet it right now. I'm
Really?
telling you, this Blackhawks team, you're telling me they can beat Colorado, but they can't beat Detroit. Oh, Detroit's so hot. They're due to lose a game. Bedard, I think his confidence is up after that victory, and I think we're going to start seeing more of these goals coming in bunches. I'm going to say he has 2 goals in this one, 1 assist. Chicago outright plus 155 here. I'm going to say they win this game 3-1. It's going to be the Blackhawks and the under.
I will be going heads up against that. I will take the Detroit Red Wings. They are hot. And honestly, I don't think they're slowing down, to be honest, dude. I know, yeah, Chicago, they beat Colorado, whatever, but the Red Wings beat Winnipeg and Pittsburgh and Washington, dude. And Cam Talbot, I think, is a big reason why they're getting a couple of those wins here. So even Detroit, I'm going to say 4-1. Honestly, I think it's kind of a chalk game. Detroit and the under, dude. Next game, still 7 p.m. Speaking of Washington, we're going there. It's Capital One Arena as the Caps take on the Canadiens. Speaking of hot teams, Montreal plus 180, over under 5.5. Montreal at 19-18-3, 1 game above 500. I know it's like, but as of late, they've been dominant, dude. Speaking of beating Colorado, they've beaten Colorado, Vancouver, Vegas, Tampa Bay. Ironically enough, the only team they've lost to in the last 5 games is Chicago. Caps have beaten the Canadiens twice already this season. Last time they face each other are the Canadiens getting revenge in our nation's capital.
The day of the dog. Montreal outright, Tony.
Wow.
At plus 180. Montembeau has been doing a great job all season, and he continues that tonight. I'm going to say Montreal will win this game 3-2 in overtime. Caulfield, the game winner. Give me the Canadiens and the under.
I guess, no, I'll go against Brian yet again here. Give me the chalk home team, the Capitals, the 6-pack of the Dogs. I don't think so. I think it's OV. I know Brian's been earning for an Ovechkin hat trick recently. I say it happens on this sweet little Friday in Washington. They go on to win 4-1. Canadiens go back home crying. Next game, 7 p.m. still, we're going to go to the Lenovo Center, North Carolina, a familiar place here. The Hurricanes taking on the Canucks. The Canucks, a team that's been underwhelming this year at 18-12-10, which is why they're plus 135 coming into this game. Both teams have lost 3 of their last 5. Canucks actually 4 of the last 5. Last time these two teams faced each other, Hurricanes beat the Canucks in Vancouver 4-3 in OT. What do you have for this one?
Day of the dog. Hurricanes on the back-to-back. Vancouver reeling, Tony, but I think they will figure it out. Maybe, take advantage of some tired legs on the side of Carolina. I think they win this game 4-2. So give me the Canucks and the under.
I like the Canucks on this one, to be honest, dude. I think they're due for a bounce back. I think they're due for a nice, tough win. Could be an overtime themselves. And why not? Let's make it an OT win here. I say Jake DeBrusk with his 18th goal of the season. And I'll say it'll come on the power play as well in OT, so a 4-on-3 action. Canucks win this one I'll say similar scores to the last game, 4-3. Little big revenge spot there for Vancouver. Next game here, 8 p.m. We're going to actually going to Canada now, Winnipeg. The Jets take on the Kings here. LA coming in here even on the money line. Your over-under is 5.5. Kings did take care of business against the Jets late November, 4-1 in LA. They've been hot ever since. 4-game win streak right now. They're 23-10-5. Not the best road record, but they could get the Jets here struggling. They've lost 3 of the last 5. What do you got?
Jets all day. No more dogs, Tony. I'm going to say, yeah, the Jets, they're going to get a vintage performance out of Hellebuck. And I'm going to say they win this game 3-0, improving on that 15-4-2 record. It's going to be the Jets in the under. Connor, all 3 goals, also known as a Hattie Boom Batty. Josh Pete.
Wow, dude. I'm going to go with the Kings here. Take the dog here. Okay, Kings dominant, dude. Outscoring their opponents 10-5 in the last 3 games, beating Jersey, beating Tampa Bay, beating Philly. So they're hot. Jets are not. Hellebuck struggling, potentially even pulled, I say. Gives up 3 in the first period. We don't even see him for the second. Could get ugly here in Winnipeg. Kings go on to win this game. I'm going to say 6-2. Kings and the over, dude. Last game here at 9 p.m. for Friday. We're going to Salt Lake City, Utah, as the Utah Hockey Club take on the San Jose Sharks. It's pretty interesting, dude. Your Sharks, Brian, plus 240, over under 6.5. The regular season series is tied at 1. Both teams struggling as of recently, dropping 3 out of the last 5 for the Sharks, 4 out of the last 5 for the Hockey Club. Only win came against Calgary. What do you got, dude?
Yeah, actually, I lied. There's one more dog here. 240 on the money line. Plus, come on. You got to go with the road team here. Utah isn't that good. And I think this is yet another close game. I'm going to say Sharks in the over. Celebrini, the game winner, in a shootout. And we're going to say 4-3 Sharks. Sharks in the over.
Honestly, could not agree with that more. Celebrini, obviously having a good year for young players, and that plus 240 is just so tantalizing, dude.
It is.
Give me the Sharks in the under there. Utah sucks, dude. So from 9 p.m. on Friday, we're going 10 p.m. Saturday, a full 25 hours later, dude. Late night hockey in Vegas, Brian. Gosh, would it be sweet to be there as the Golden Knights take on the Rangers. Going to be obviously a start to a tough road trip here for the Rangers after that tough nitty-gritty win against the Devils. And honestly, dude, shame on fucking ESPN, dude. I know it's Saturday, I guess, but they don't even have the victory against the Devils here.
They've been doing that recently.
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. Nonetheless, here, though, the Golden Knights, their winners are 4 of the last 5. They're a hot team, 28-10-3, 17-5 at home. Obviously, Rangers are looking to pull their bootstraps up and out of the hole they've dug themselves. I would have to say the Rangers coming in here on the road, they're probably going to be plus 150, I would say. Over, under, I'll give it the 5.5. Good goaltending matchup here. What do you got, dude?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm just going to hope that the Knights have an off game. Maybe Rangers put one in early. Maybe we say Fox again. He's kind of been due to keep picking up the scoring. He's only 2 goals this year. And I think we need another Igor performance, maybe like a 30 of 31 in net. And I'm going to say Rangers finally win 2 games in a row, first time since November. And I think they win this game 3-1. Give me the Rangers and the under.
Yes, I absolutely love the under call as well. I think Igor's going to have a great game. So will Hill or whoever the Golden Knights end up starting. But regardless here, I think it's going to be tough, for the Rangers to infiltrate what the Golden Knights have put out there on the ice. So I think same deal, challenging the Golden Knights from the blue line is going to be exactly what the Rangers need to do to win here. I think Will Borgen, that's his first goal since when they played Chicago. 3rd one of the year, 2nd for the Rangers. And honestly, I like the Fox call as well. Maybe a Vinny T down low, a power play goal even. I think with that, the Golden Knights could lose this one in regulation at home for their 6th time this season. Rangers win the game. I'll say 4-2. That'll be Rangers and the over right there, Brian.
And just like that, that is your 6-pack hockey frenzy.
A cold six-pack,
A
baby.
very cold six-pack. And we did have a couple comments here. Ernie said he tried talking shit to a Devils fan, but I'm new too. I lost the banter, LMAO.
That's
and then
funny.
Josh B saying, damn, Ernie, not that, LMAO. And then Ernie also says, Josh, I was outnumbered, LO. Hold your, I was on all I had, LMAO. Josh B getting a kick out of that. Kev Dew saying, big earn. Damn, bro. Get your Rangers banter up. You can't lose to these Devils boozoos. Bozos. Can someone call Matty Ryan? We just need to hear from him today. Give me his number. I will call him, LMAO.
I can't do that.
And then Ernie says, I got a Rangers shit talk crash course or something. And I think Ernie just start with, what happened last night, huh?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
It's also, it's not about what you did earlier this season. It's about what you do the rest of the season. So I think that's something they need to keep in mind. And then, just a couple more things here. UConn back in action tomorrow.
Really?
In Georgetown at Capital One Arena. So I guess that's home of the Capitals. And coming off that disappointing loss to Villanova, Georgetown last time out lost to Marquette. UConn 12-4-1, 4-1 in the conference. Georgetown 12-3, 3-1 in the conference. We mentioned Cooley there. The turnaround, they've been in shambles of recent, but have done a nice job, and they're led by their leading scorer Thomas Sorber, the freshman, averaging 15 points a game, 8.4 rebounds.
Wow, freshman.
And they've been just doing an outstanding job there. So I think this is a difficult game, and I wouldn't be surprised if UConn in this one is probably only going to be like a 2.5, 3-point favorite. Just because of
the disciple.
how well Georgetown has played. But you would think that the guys are motivated, especially Alex Karaban. He's got to be the star of this game, collapsing down the stretch with those free throws last time, and just bulk up, be physical. Use your size. So, you hope to see that. And maybe Reed gets some more minutes to kind of enforce the inside. I think this is a very close game. But my projections have UConn winning this one 75-70 to improve to 13-4, 5-1 in the Big East. I know it's not your area of expertise, Tony, but if you had to, if I had to guess, I'm going to say you're going to say Georgetown, but go ahead.
Yeah, give Georgetown. I'm going to say they win this game. I'm going to say 82-77. Ovechkin in attendance, hammered. Okay, courtside, having a great time. They win the game for him.
You really think Ovechkin's hammered at the game?
Nah, I don't think he'll even be there.
Come on, dude.
Come on,
That was actually
dude.
just going to see if they were playing tomorrow. They are in Nashville, so Ovechkin will not be hammered at the game. But
Are they playing tomorrow? The back-to-back. Wow, dude.
That is kind of funny. Also, tonight, Knicks back in action, hosting the Thunder, so that should be a good game. 7:30 NBA TV. OKC 4.5-point favorites there. I think that is going to be a close game. But Knicks lost last time they played. And obviously would like to see the Knicks do well this year, but I just think Shai is going to put on a show for the Madison Square Garden faithful. No.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
I mean, if you had to give me something there, Tony, 4.5-point favorites, 225.5 is the total.
225.5 is the total. You said 4.5-point favorites?
Yeah.
225. 110, 112. They win?
Who wins?
Knicks.
Didn't say.
I'll say Knicks win.
I'm going to say Thunder.
Really?
125 to 117. And like I said, hopefully the Knicks win, but Thunder 30-6, including an impressive 13-4 mark away from Oklahoma City. That's going to be tough to combat, Tony.
Yeah, I guess so, dude.
But
I mean, OKC, I don't know, dude. 30-6.
we'll have to see what happens.
13-4 on the road.
It's a tough task.
Knicks are 12-5 at home. Garden. No MSG.
Yeah.
But NBA TV game, it says.
Yeah, exactly.
that's kinda nice.
We'll have to see what happens. Also, the Raiders did end up firing their GM Tom Telesco. So
Oh, wow,
they've been
dude.
known to have the short leash, and it seemed like he was coming back, but they do fire him. So they were looking for not only a new head coach, but a general manager as well.
Jesus.
So saw that come in yesterday. What do we have in store for Binge Buddies later?
It's a great question, dude. We'll have Manny in studio, dude. I know he's talking about that movie Conclave, which was nominated for Golden Globes. I think they're nominated for Critics' Choice, the Oscars, whatnot. So that should be pretty interesting. It's you probably wouldn't like it. It's about like the Pope and stuff.
Oh, the Pope. Okay.
Yeah, Pope dies. The Cardinals go choose a new one and stuff like that. It's pretty deep. There's no like scandals really, I guess, in terms of divorces or whatnot. So
Yeah.
but still gonna be an episode with some rapid fire news. Obviously, weekend, some releases we'll be talking about this weekend upcoming as well. As you know, the world of cinema is getting kicked off here for 2025.
Yeah, and
8 p.m., dudes,
we
tune in.
were gonna wrap up, but then there was something that I was talking about. Everybody on Discord knows about this. We have our first
dude.
hockey
No
pack
fucking way,
pull,
man.
Tony, are you kidding?
Are you kidding me? Is right,
Been
dude.
dying to tell you about this, but wanted it to be a surprise. Cards
Wow.
came in the other day. We have
Suck it, Matthew
4
Ryan.
packs
Yeah,
of
dude.
12. And how about who's on the cover, Tony? Who is that? Is that the future Ranger captain?
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
And this is actually the 2024-2025 Upper Deck
That's
pack
pretty sick,
here. So my thoughts are, I'd like to get you in the mix on this as well. So there's, like I said, 12 cards. So I'm thinking I'll do the first 6, and then I will pass the pack over to you. How do you like that?
That sounds great, dude. There's 12 cards in a pack.
Yeah. That kind of took me as a surprise.
Bang
here.
for your buck, dude.
So really
Fucked
excited
up.
for this, and it was kind of funny when you were mentioning the packs earlier today. So had to keep that one contained.
Yeah, it was hard.
Me and Michael did our best on that.
Wow, dude.
And I say,
yeah, great
you know
acting,
what?
Brian.
Get the hockey.
I was just gonna say, yeah, why not, dude?
All right. So the first history being made here on the sports board.
Wow.
The first hockey pack pull. Wow. And we're gonna lead off from the Florida Panthers.
Uh-oh.
Anton Lundell.
Nice, dude. That's a good
That's
start
a
off.
solid card. Obviously, a member of the defending champs. So,
Of course.
Pumped to get this one in the mix. That's number 1. Number 2, from the Vegas Golden Knights, Aiden Hill. So kind of one of those.
there we go.
More underrated tenders. He's done a nice
Love that,
job
dude.
this season. So good to get him in the mix. Now, from the Edmonton Oilers, Matthias Ekholm.
There you go, dude. There's your Oiler guy right there.
There we go. Oilers in the mix. We go to Philadelphia for our next card. Joel Farabee.
Wow, I think you can say Embiid. A little mix up there, dude.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then we have our first green blaster card of the pack.
What does that even mean?
From the Boston Bruins, Charlie
Coyle. Great player. I actually like that guy.
And I have to say, what a way for the first half of this pack to go. The last card here is actually going to be, it's called a gaming co-op card, okay?
Okay.
So we have 2 players on this from the Canadiens. And the 2 most well-known offensive players on the team.
No way.
Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield.
Yo, that is sick, dude.
So that is awesome. And it's crazy, Tony. I'm gonna put the cards down, but
Okay.
You take them. The first card, this is gonna be a surprise. I'm just saying, I don't mean to hype this up too much. You're gonna be so fucking jacked up. Even Michael is gonna be riled in this. I swear to God. First card on the top, not on the bottom. So that I think that's just the general list, that card. But the no. So yeah. So
Take from
the
here or take
the
from
bottom,
here?
The bottom, yes.
Take from the bottom.
You're gonna lose your shit.
Wow, dude. That's a city satellite card here. Your guy from the Chicago Blackhawks, number 98, Connor Bedard,
Wow,
baby.
that has gold.
Let's
written
go.
all
Where's
over
the
it.
sleeve, dude? He's breaking Gretzky's record already. Ovi's already tight, dude. Oh, wow, dude. This is also a great one. A nice, sweet upper decker here from the Montreal Canadiens. Their goaltender, Samuel Montembeault.
Wow.
Look at that, dude. Playing the puck and stoic as ever, dude.
Fire on these packs. Fire.
Absolute fuego here. Next up, another Bostonian here. The Bruin young buck himself, Matthew Poitras. Let's go, dude. Wow, another kind of a little bit of an oddball here from the San Jose Sharks, Mario Ferraro.
Hey, Mario.
Hey, Mario, what are you doing, dude? Oh, wow, this is interesting here. We have a little bit of a throwback, I guess, an Arizona Coyote uniform we're looking at, dude. But it does label him as Utah, which is pretty interesting. I believe this is a young player as well. Jack McBain, dude. Looks like he's in his 4th career season so far. 22 goals, 33 assists over those past 3 years. Oh my goodness, dude. Let's go. We have a Series 1 checklist, 1 to 100 card here. This is pretty special. I'm not going to lie, Brian. We have a brother duo from 2 different teams, the Canuck and Devil duo, Quinn and Luke Hughes, dude.
Wow. I have to say,
Let's
I don't know
go, dude.
if we could have started out on a better note with the
I don't think
hockey
so, dude.
pack pull, Tony.
This is sick, dude. Absolutely not. The upper deck NHL cards coming at you hot here. Wow, dude. This is sick, man.
I feel like I'm speechless.
Literally.
What would be your favorite card, you would say, out of the 12?
Out of those 12, I mean, honestly, the Caulfield and Suzuki card is pretty sick.
Pretty
I'm not gonna lie,
crazy.
dude. So I guess that'd have to be that's the one, I think, dude. They're hot right now. Canadians are hot right now, and now to pair them up with Sam as well to put the whole roster out here, dude.
And I believe Josh B wants to see the Bedard card one more time.
Oh, really, dude? Well, really, he's gonna have to pay a little
What a
extra
way
for that.
for
He wants to
Tony,
look it
though.
up.
Tony
Yeah.
to make his debut at the hockey
Right,
back pull.
dude?
Bedard
Let's
off
go,
the rip.
dude.
No, I'm telling
Bedard
you.
off rip
Golds.
here.
Connor
Telling
Bedard,
you,
the
dude.
future of the NHL.
I know it's gonna be out of focus, but nonetheless, dude. It's cool, dude. It's very
Yeah.
cool. The horizontal card here. Bedard posted breakout performance. Chicago Road, Tampa Bay, whatever. Rookie phenom. 2 goals and 2 assists to lead the Blackhawks to 5-3 victory. Wow, that's pretty cool, dude.
So yeah,
City satellite card.
pumped for that. Now, 1 to 10, what would you say your level of surprise on this?
I would say it's 10, dude.
Like,
Didn't
no
expect that, dude.
idea.
No idea.
I
dude.
did the usual, what's on Binge Buddies? Like, you're
Yeah,
so
yeah.
ready for the
Yeah,
outro.
no idea it was coming.
And
No
did you
idea,
see
dude.
Michael lurking over there?
Yeah. He had something weird in his
Now-
stomach. I don't know, dude. It was weird.
No, I'm saying, so did you think anything was up there, or you thought he was just like
He
doing
didn't know
something
shit.
else?
I mean, I knew something was going on
No,
when he
you
stood up,
didn't.
but I didn't think it was going to be,
He's just
hockey
saying
cards.
that. He's just
Yeah.
saying that.
It was pretty obvious when you had
No,
like,
you're
it was
just
like
saying that.
It looked like that when Alien came out of the guy's stomach. It
just
looked like
saying
that was
that.
happening for a second. Okay.
You're just saying that.
But no, I'm pumped for the hockey cards. It's just a whole nother element.
It really is, dude.
And I think we're off to a tremendous start. And looking forward to seeing what's in the rest of this box.
How many packs are in there?
3 more. So
Wow,
36 cards.
dude. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so that's a lot of cards. I'm telling you, Michael, the Bedard. I really think that's going to be
Bedard.
that's like the Godfather
Like
card.
I want to rip them all right now.
I know.
You can't.
I know you can't though. And then usual time with Binge Buddies, son?
8 p.m. baby.
All right.
You know the deal. Friday night.
Yeah. So definitely tune into that. But wow, what a show today. What a week of shows here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
really
Especially
appreciate everybody who tuned in this week and continues to comment, like
Suck
and
it,
subscribe.
Matthew Ryan.
All of the archives in the YouTube page.
Can't believe he
Tony,
didn't show up.
Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume. The merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, enjoy Binge Buddies, and we will see you on Monday.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.